Hi, I'm Kayla. I am making this video at 2 in the morning, so it's kind of loud because I'm outside because my family's asleep. So, I'm kind of making this as a video diary for myself just to see what I've had to live with for the past 5 years and I thought I'd put it on the internet just to see if anyone else needed to listen to someone else, because when I was looking, there wasn't really anything out there for me. So this is my story with having migraines and chronic migraines. For me, my migraines started about 5 years ago. I remember going home a lot in 8th grade. Like, I'd have like a huge test, I'd study for it the night before, then I'd go to school, take the test, and my brain would be completely fried afterwards. It was like I couldn't focus or think of anything else, so I just went home and I slept. And that was my routine for about 3 years. Every time I felt like I couldn't stand it anymore, I felt like I couldn't think or move without pain going through my head, I went home and I slept. And that was my medicine. I saw my family doctor when it all kind of started. She made me record it for a year, trying to find triggers or anything that might, make it worse. But I couldn't find anything. I couldn't eat a specific thing and then I'd get a migraine. It was kind of like they just came and they went. So she started me on B2 and magnesium, and I did that for way too long. I didn't know how long to actually take a medication to know how long it took for it to actually work. So I took it for maybe 5 months, which is way too long. You're supposed to take it for like about 12 weeks, and then after that, there's not supposed to be any change. So after that, we started trying other medications. And since I took so long with the vitamins, she told me to tell her right away if I didn't think they were working. So in the span of 3 weeks, I went through 2 medications. Because to me they did nothing because I wasn't letting them try and do something. Because what they're trying to do, because it's a preventative medication, they're actually trying to alter the chemicals in your brain so that they work properly. So that the pathways aren't sending pain signals. So every time you have a thought, especially on chronic migraines, because you're never not in pain, chronic migraines, every brain signal that is being sent, there's also being a signal sending pain. So ouch, this hurts. So what they start out with medications is they try to prevent it. So they do preventative medications. So they try these medications to stop those pain signals from going through the brain, so you stop feeling pain. And for me, those medications did nothing. Even though I hadn't given a couple of them not a full fair chance, even in the short time I did them, they did nothing. So we asked my family doctor to refer me to the children's hospital, because even though I am 17 right now, I am still a child. So I need a child's care. So we went to the children's hospital, and I tried 4 more medications over a span of a year almost, where I tried to see if anything would help, and nothing has. So we turned from just preventative to trying to stop it when it happens, which is a rescue. And that rescue is just trying to give you an hour of relief, which is what sometimes you really need. So we tried rescues. The ones my doctor liked to use were the triptans. There's a ton of weird names, but those are the brands that she, like, that's the area of medication that she thought would work the best for me. So that's what she used with me. So I went through most of the triptans. We started with like Tylenol and Advil and ibuprofen, and then moved our way up through the dangerous ones, just stronger drugs. So I tried all those, and those haven't helped. So then she suggested Botox, and that's where you get multiple injections in your head so that there's pressure points in your head, and they're trying to put pressure on specific points so that they alleviate some of the pain. So I took that, and I had to take about 12 weeks in between each Botox appointment before I could have my next. And so it took 3 doses of Botox before I would have been able to see any results. And for me, I saw no results. So I have been chronic. I have been in pain every single day for almost 2 years. And it kind of starts to wear on you. And I think I'm losing it a bit because I'm at home all the time because I can't wake up to go to bed. Sorry. Can't speak either. I can't wake up to go to school. I can't stay at school for more than an hour because the lights are hurting my eyes and it sounds like everyone is screaming at me. So, and my head feels like it's a 10-pound brick. So that I just want to slap my face on the counter or tabletop. So it's a little bit difficult for me to go to school right now, which has also caused me some worry because I'm supposed to graduate this year. But they got my migraines took me out of school last year after the first semester. Well, before the end of the first semester. I was about 3 units away from finishing the courses that I was taking when my migraines got so bad that I couldn't take them, where I stopped being able to tough it out and go to school every day. So for about a month, I just stayed at home in my bed, trying to do work when I can, trying to catch up, because I was used to taking a week off from school and then just catching up, taking 3 days off, catching up, and going back to school. So I thought that's just what it was. It was just another episode of migraines. And so I just thought I'll try and keep trying to do the schoolwork I can and trying to stay on track. But it obviously wasn't working because I barely handed in a couple of assignments. So for that semester, I ended up taking all the unit tests and all in the final exam and not doing any of the work or quizzes. And luckily, I was able to pass 2 of my courses. I had 3. But it was no surprise to me because the one that I failed was math. And I already struggle in math. I'm terrible at numbers and figuring things out and memorizing things. So for me, math was already a struggle. And then put on top of it a migraine, and then put on top of it not knowing the material. I knew I wasn't going to do well, but I tried my best. I passed with a 45%, which to me was pretty good for missing 3 units and getting a 15% on one of the unit exams. So, to me, it was kind of a low blow thinking that I wouldn't be able to graduate next year. Because the second semester I only took LA. So I had so many courses to catch up on, and I had so many things I wanted to do, so I didn't think it was going to be possible. But luckily, I was able to do summer school, so I was able to get my math back. So I was up to math 20 again, which was good. But then I had all the other 30 courses to do. And I wasn't, on the first week of this year, I went to the first month maybe of school pretty regularly. I was able to go almost every day, wake up every morning, pack my lunch, get dressed, shower, all of that, and do the homework for a month. But then it's just like my body gave out. So it became really hard to wake up in the morning, to sit in class and listen and feel like I wasn't there, like my brain wasn't able to work. And for me, that's a huge part of why my migraines are so detrimental to me, because for me, with a bad migraine, I can go and do a menial task and do repetitive work as long as I don't have to use my head. I can do that and survive with a migraine, a bad migraine. But if you give me a word problem, and it says Susie has 2 apples. If she gives 2 to Dylan, how many does she have? I will sit on it for 10 minutes and not know the answer, because my brain cannot function anymore. So I have no idea how to think, or have an idea of how to think to work around the problem to solve it. And I think you could tell I was messing up with my words and couldn't think of the right words to use, which is a huge part for me. Even though without a migraine I have trouble thinking of words, with a migraine I can't think of very regular words to use because I can't think straight. And to me, that's the huge thing. I can't think with a migraine. So how am I supposed to do very high level learning and understanding in a short period of time when I cannot think straight? And that incorporated with the pain. So for me, the pain alters depending on the day and depending on what my head wants to do that day. So sometimes it just feels like my head's a balloon. It's full of all this air and it just is pushing against my skull. And there's this ton of pressure inside my head that I can't get rid of. And it's like every time I move, there's like a little balloon inside it, and it's like bouncing back and forth, going, "This is awesome! I can feel everything!" Which isn't always nice to feel. And because I'm the type of person, when someone's talking to me, I like to nod my head and show that I'm physically and mentally involved in their conversation. I've had to really dull my ways of showing someone that I'm listening. I've had to dull my personality and my responses to things, because movement and sometimes even speaking at times causes me pain. So I've turned to a quieter person and to someone who sits really still and who doesn't act out a lot at times, because movement hurts. And I've noticed a lot over these past 2 years. I've changed as a person. Even though I wasn't always a great conversationalist, I would always try and continue the conversation, try to keep it moving, try to learn more about the person. But now, I can't think of ideas to bring up. I can't think, even when I'm asked a question, the proper way to word something or what the words are at all. And I can't stay focused on one thing for long and talk because it hurts my head. So there's a lot of different things going on, and I'm going on a tangent kind of, because I started on how my pain works and then I talked about this, but this is how my brain works right now, so this is how the video is going to be. So back to the pain. Sometimes I get it was kind of like a needle. You know when you get like a flu shot, or like some people get acupuncture, how they stick the needle in and then you feel it? I feel that repetitively in specific parts of my head from 5 minutes to half an hour. And for some, it probably doesn't seem that bad, but for me, it's like it always happens when I'm trying to focus on something. When I know there's something I have to do, and it's like, I gotta do this, so I have to focus, and then it's just like ding 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 right in my skull, and it's like, okay, I'm trying to focus, you're making it hard. And then you just gotta like stop, close your eyes, just breathe, and then sometimes it goes away, sometimes it doesn't. So then you revert to other methods, such as sleeping for me. That's my main method that I've found worked for me so far, is sleep. It just, for me, at the beginning, after I slept, I felt some relief when I woke up. I felt like I was better. I felt like my brain felt rested and more, it was like more fit, kind of. Like it was able to do more because it felt stronger. But now when I sleep to knock myself out. I sleep because I can't stand the pain anymore. So I need to sleep to knock my brain out so I don't feel it. And I know you're saying, Kayla, you're making this video at 2:30 in the morning. How can you be saying you sleep a lot? Well, that's the thing right now. I'm sleeping during the day because I'm home alone. And I'm feeling a lot of pressure with having to do homework because I'm trying to graduate this year. So I'm trying to do homework and trying to do work and trying to do all these things like exercise and eating and drinking water, which to some people are just menial, like basic things. But for me, it's a huge thing. Because just to sit on a bike and bike for half an hour can cause me pain because it's moving my head, and it increases my heart rate, which sometimes I can hear my heart rate in my ears and feel it in my head. So all I hear is the in my ears while I feel it pounding in my head, and that, it's not nice. It feels really bad. So I don't like to exercise, and I know it's good for me, and I know it's healthy, and I know how much it gives endorphins, but for right now, to feel that level of pain for that half hour I would have to do it to get my heart rate up to what I need it to be to release those endorphins, it's more bad than it is good. There's more pain involved than there is relief for me at this moment. And I know you have to do it over a period of time to see if it works. But for me, when I first got my migraines, I was on 2 basketball teams. I would practice 3 days a week, play 2 games every week, and that'd be for like 3 hours a day, right? So for me, that was both exercising my brain and my body, and I was still leaving the gym in pain. I was having, one time I remember, in grade 10, I had just finished practice with my basketball team, and luckily my dad was the coach, so I just stopped practice, and it's like, I cannot do school now. I cannot think straight. I cannot walk in a straight line and not feel pain. So how am I going to go a day through school? And so luckily I was able to go home and sleep, which I know it's kind of repetitive, but that's what my life has been for the last almost 3 years. Repetitively trying to dull the migraines, at least, to give myself some relief. All the while this is happening, I've been seeing therapists, because sometimes migraines can be because of stress, because you're overly stressed about something. And I have never been the person to be stressed. And I know what it looks like, because my sisters, they get so worried and anxious about completing assignments and having a test the next day, where I don't feel that. I don't feel like this is the end of the world. I don't feel like, oh my gosh, this is so bad, I need to do this. So I never related stress and worry to my migraines. And I know for some people there's tons of videos online where it's like, I found God and my migraines got better, or they disappeared. And for me, good to that person, good that they found something that relieves their stress. But for me, my migraines aren't stress related. They also aren't related from a previous incident or a previous illness. Yes, I play basketball. Yes, I am a point guard, so I do get jarred around a lot. But there's never a time that I can remember thinking, oh, I'm dizzy after I've been hit, or thinking, okay, my head really hurts. So for me, there isn't a pivotal moment where it's like, okay, this is where I got a concussion and this is where I get migraines from, because the concussion led to the migraines. But for me, there's nothing there that suggests a concussion. And there isn't a huge illness I had. I haven't been extremely sick since you could say I was a baby, but it wasn't like there was this huge illness that I almost died from. It was just little things, like, I don't know the name, but it was like I wasn't getting enough nutrition from the milk, so I had to be kept in the hospital a couple extra days or something. So there's that, but there wasn't any like solid proof of where the migraines came from. So there's a lot of dissatisfaction with not knowing where it comes from. Because like if I knew there was a cause, then it'd be easier to say, okay, this is what we could do for me. That's how I feel about it. But there isn't. There's this, okay, what could we possibly do that could possibly help, that could maybe give you an hour of relief. And so it's kind of upsetting to hear from your doctors that you're kind of all out of options, that you're all out of all the meds, all of the other ways of trying to minimize the pain, and you're just gonna have to live with it. Because my mom has always been hoping that's been hormonal, but I'm gonna be 18 in July, and I know girls don't stop going through puberty till later, but it's like my hormones haven't been acting up, I feel. So it's not like there's been these huge changes where I'd get my period and I get huge migraines, and then my period would go away and I wouldn't get migraines. But there wasn't any, for me, there isn't any relation to my period, which would probably suggest something hormonal, right? So there really isn't anything there. So it's been a little bit tough on me the past couple of years, just trying to find something where I could find some relief. Because I'm always in the state of, I don't want to say pain, because it's like, to me, I don't see it as pain. I see it now as something that's a part of me, it's something that I have to deal with. It's not something that's like, okay, this is pain. Like when you hurt your finger or break your arm, it's like, okay, this is pain. This really hurts. It's more like, okay, my head really hurts today. What can I do to stop it from hurting too much? And it's kind of become my normal. I've gotten used to waking up and sitting up and then slamming my head down because my head hurts that much. I've gotten used to being in a conversation and just smiling and saying, because I can't think straight and I can't follow the conversation fully. I've gotten used to crying because of the pain. And I'm not one to cry. I don't like hold it in, restrict it, but it's like I'm not someone who's overly emotional. So I don't feel like I need to cry. But I've cried more in the past little bit than I have in the past 5 years. Just 'cause I think I'm done. I think I'm done with the pain. And I just want something where I can feel like a normal human being again. So I can hang out with my friends and feel like I'm fully there. And not feel like I have to walk away and stand outside in the cold and stay away from my family from a family gathering because I can't stand the noise. I want to be able to eat dinner with my family instead of having to stay downstairs because the smell makes me want to vomit. I want to be able to do normal things again. And that's kind of the reason I'm making this. So that when I'm older, hopefully I'll be able to look back on this and say it got better. Say I was able to find something that worked for me. Say that even though it's been tough, it gets better. Even though how cliche that sounds. But to me, I hope it happens. I hope it happens where there comes a time in my life where I maybe get 2 migraines a year. Or maybe even like 2 a month. Just where I can feel like I'm functionally like a normal human being. Or I feel like I'm part of society. That would be nice. So, I don't know if I'm gonna do another video at all. I don't know if this has been helpful. I don't know if anyone's watched this. I don't know what's gonna happen. But I know that I'm gonna keep fighting. I'm gonna keep looking for different weird ways to cure my migraines or subside them a bit. I'm gonna keep trying to go do exercise, to drink water, to complete the homework I can, to try and graduate, and to try and get better. So I hope to people who have migraines that this has been a bit helpful to you, just to see that there are people out there who are going through it too, who don't know any of the answers, who are grabbing at strings just to find something that works. I hope it shows you that you're not alone in your struggle. And for parents, if you're watching this and your child has migraines, I hope this gives you a little bit of insight, because I know my parents, they don't know what to do. And for a long time, they thought it's like I was sick. And when you're sick, they say sleep and you'll feel better. But they realized over time, and I'm realizing now, it takes me a bit longer to realize that no, always sleeping isn't always a good thing. Too much sleep can be bad. And my parents have been really good, where it's like, they'll listen to me and say, if you need anything, talk to us. But it's like, I'm the kind of person that doesn't like to ask for help. I don't like to sit down and say, okay, I feel terrible. I need you to rub my head. I need you to get me a cold pack. I will, even though I am in pain, I will get up and I will get my own cold pack. I will go to my bed, close my blinds, lock my door, and just stay in a dark room and just stay there and rub my own head, because I don't like asking for help. I will go out into this backyard and walk and pace and lay in the snow for hours because the cold helps my head. But I will not wake up my parents at 2 a.m. because I have a bad migraine. Because I know they have to go to work tomorrow. And they have to function in society. And they have to get up at 7:30 in the morning every day. So I can tough it out by myself at night. Because I know that this is not going to kill me. This is not going to make me stop trying to live life. It's not going to stop me from being able to do the things I want to do. It might prevent it in the moment, but it can't stop it from ever happening. So I will take matters into my own hands. But I also know I have to reach out a little bit more and ask for a bit more help, because I'm not that great, because my parents don't really understand what's going on with me. They don't understand how bad the pain is, and they don't understand how difficult it is for me to get out of bed each morning. They are the best, though. They try their best, but they also know that they have to push me. And even though I don't like it, at times I know they're doing the right thing. But I'm thankful to them because they know when to talk to me. They know when to stop pushing. And they know when to give me a hug. And so that for them, I'm grateful for that. But I tried to end this video already and I ended on a tangent. But thank you for watching this, if you watched this. Hope this gave you an idea into the lives of someone with migraines and chronic migraines. Because I know a ton of people don't have any idea what it's like. And I'm just glad, even if you watched for a minute, even though you won't see this part, that you actually watched it and clicked on it. Because it means you want to learn something. It means you want to be able to see things from a different angle. And for that, I thank you. And so I'm going to end this awkwardly now. So, bye.